What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mark B, and you are listening to another episode of the Man Listen Show. Before we get started, let's hear a few words from our sponsors.
DD's Daiquiris is your #1 supplier of premium daiquiri mixes. You will love the taste of our classic margarita and signature strawberry mixes. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at DD's Daiquiris. DD is spelled DEEDEE. You can also find us at www.dd'sdaiquiris.com. DD's Daiquiris, giving good vibes to good people, one good drink at a time.
More Grace Counseling and Mediation Services offers individual and relationship counseling as well as mediation services to the community. At More Grace, healthy partnerships are valuable and beneficial. Please visit the website www.moregracecounseling.com for more information about our approach to counseling. More Grace Counseling and Mediation Services, where we offer more grace and more healing.
Are you in the state of Texas and looking for a knowledgeable loan advisor that will walk you through the process from application to closing? Well, then you need to contact Joe Byers at Trinity Oaks Mortgage. Trinity Oaks Mortgage offers FHA, VA, and conventional loans. They also have a first-time homebuyers program available. There is also down payment assistance available as well. Make sure you contact Joe Byers at Trinity Oaks Mortgage. You can reach Joe at 972-512-8990. Are you looking for a virtual assistant who can help you with your scheduling, travel, research, and expenses? Demi Virtual Solutions is the answer for you. Demi Virtual Solutions also provides mobile notary services. They will travel to take care of your needs. So if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and need a virtual assistant or are looking for mobile notary services, contact them at 469-522-9005, and you can find them on their website at demivirtualsolutions.com. That's DEMI virtualsolutions.com. Please buy the new book by Arika Nicole Moore, Diabolical Tales of Woe. Diabolical Tales of Woe is a thrilling collection of short horror stories that leave you in an excited trepidation to see what will happen next. Prepare to face one horrific encounter after the next in this captivating novel. You can find this book on Amazon in the Kindle and paperback version. That is Diabolical Tales of Woe by Arika Nicole Moore. Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinion on topics that affect the Black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on a no-hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% Black all the time. Please follow the show on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Man Listen Show. You can also subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, basically anywhere you can find your podcast. Follow us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, and make sure you share the blackest radio show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. I'm your host, Mark B. All right, man. So the CDC made an announcement saying that if you are vaccinated, you do not have to wear a mask in public. And when I tell you, that meant that everybody was just going to be like, F the mask and just be out like whatever. I was out the other day and I was looking, I was in Quick Trip and I just seen how like everybody was just walking around like it was all good. And I was like, I know that mom didn't get no damn vaccination. And, probably definitely was in the minority. I was definitely in the minority. I felt like, remember back in the day before this popped off and you'd be at the airport and all you would see was like Chinese people wearing masks and stuff and we'd be looking at them crazy. Now I was like the Chinese person in the Quick Trip, I was the only one wearing my mask. But what y'all think, man? I think, the CDC, I think they jumped the gun. I believe, and I probably should have this information, we're only about a third of the population, of the U.S. population is vaccinated. And I mean, it feels like we're getting somewhat back to normal. You're starting to see people more and more out. But I just think they jumped the gun with this because not enough people have been vaccinated. We knew that we weren't going to get to 100%. I think the goal they thought was like trying to get closer to 80. But now we're to the point where you have the anti-vaxxers and these kids. When I say kids, I mean like teenagers, early 20s. They follow YouTube shows like the Man Listen Show, but we bring facts. Or we don't know, we bring opinions, but if we talk about something serious, we'll bring somebody on who can talk about it factually. Go back to our previous show where we had on Dr. Gwen, and she talked about the vaccine. So these kids aren't listening to it, and I think they just dropped the ball by announcing we can stop wearing these masks. What y'all think?
I think they definitely did, because the thing about it is when they first got the vaccines, they told everybody it doesn't mean you can't catch COVID. It just means that you won't have as severe life-threatening symptoms. So we haven't done anything to stop the spread of COVID by getting the vaccine. We're just trying to save lives. So to stop the spread, we should still be wearing masks and doing hand sanitizer. So really nothing should have changed, but here we are. But in my county, in my quick trip, face masks were a suggestion. They were never required. So, I mean, nothing's changed in St. Charles.
I mean, I'm vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. My wife's vaccinated. Most of my kids are. If not, they will be. I'm still gonna wear my mask just because I don't trust the people. Because I know folks gonna lie. They're gonna lie. Oh, I'm vaccinated. You know, I'm vaccinated and not wear their mask. Like you said, you can still catch it. You can still catch it. You might not get as sick, but on that off chance that you do, being somebody who survived COVID, I had COVID last year and had a brother who almost passed from COVID. I'm not playing no games. So I'll still be wearing the mask.
Yeah, it's they're trying to work on this honor system, and we know throughout history how that's gone. People aren't honest, obviously, and to coincide kind of with that, our office is like, hey, everybody's coming back immediately, so we're back in the office now, and it's people that I work with. Like you said, Marv, who got the vaccine. If you know somebody, you like, I know you didn't get that vaccine. I know you didn't. And they just walking through there all willy-nilly with no mask on and everything. So I definitely am like you. I'm going to have mine on. I did notice that the people that are consistently wearing them in my office are also the people with melanin. the people that don't have it are walking. There are some white people that are wearing masks, but the overwhelming majority of the people, of all the black people, had their masks on.
It definitely looks like the people who aren't wearing masks probably let their dogs lick them in the mouth as well. So
I thought he was gonna say vote for Trump. That's the worst.
That too. When people vote for Trump, they look like they probably let their dogs lick them in the mouth too. Yeah,
I thought you said
you're right,
other
though.
masks. But
they're like, I'll be okay.
But see, this is the thing too, though. So if it's kind of, we say we think they dropped the ball, they came out too early. If you're trusting the science when they tell you to wear them, then other than you just having an opinion, if you're a person that trusts the science, then you have to trust the science. And if they're saying that it's okay not to wear them, then hey, I'm still gonna wear mine, regardless. And I probably will for a long time. I mean, anytime I'm in a crowded space, or more importantly, if I feel like I might be kind of sick or something like that, I'm gonna do what I think is responsible and probably wear a mask. So if you're trusting the science when they tell you to wear them, then without, other than you just saying you have an opinion on that they jumped the gun, there really is no reason for you not to trust the science when they say it's okay not to wear them, and if you're fully vaccinated.
And that's sound logic. So it is my opinion, and I feel as if I want to have that protection. I've gotten to wearing a mask don't bother me. I work from home for the majority of the time. I go and I meet customers. More than likely, they won't be wearing a mask. They'll want to shake hands. I'm still doing the Barack Obama fist bump to people. I'm gonna keep doing that. But it's just, I feel as if it was premature, because you see how effective it was. I mean, I know people who have allergies, severe allergies during this season. I know that the allergies still bother them, but it wasn't as bad because we were wearing masks. Notice how over this last year, you really ain't see people just say, "Oh man, I caught a cold." Either they was
No,
healthy or they
yeah.
had COVID. You know what I mean?
Flu,
So the
I think
mask was working, in my opinion. Now I'm not a
no, they were.
scientist, but it worked.
I think they said flu cases were down like 95% or something ridiculous. And I was like, what? And
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean they do work, but I think this is the thing is the guidance was probably appropriate because we're saying you don't have to wear a mask, but they had that caveat if you're fully vaccinated. And so that guidance probably is correct. But the thing that it leads into is that if you don't have a way of enforcing that or a way of making sure people are fully vaccinated, then yeah, you probably shouldn't have came out and said that.
But what
But
was the
the
what
science
was
is probably correct.
what was the point? Like, what was the tipping point for them to make that announcement? Did we reach a certain percentage?
I
Because
think.
as soon as they did it, like I live in Texas,
Oh,
and Governor Hot Wheels, yeah, for y'all don't know, I shouldn't say that.
yeah,
Don't forget, but anyway, as soon as they said that, he was like, "Look, it's illegal." He banned
yeah.
government facilities to make people wear masks. So that goes for schools, that goes for anywhere
Mhm.
government. So
I saw
like
that.
teachers can't protect themselves from kids. And we know there was a strong contingency of anti-vaxxers sending their kids to school and all that mess. And our teachers need to be protected. My wife a teacher, what I'm saying? I want her
Right,
protected. So I think
right.
it still should be mandatory.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing on no, I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but the thing with making it mandatory is you still have that option for yourself, right? So I understand where the kid, I guess, I don't know, somehow since kids couldn't get the vaccine early, they felt like kids obviously weren't a large percentage of the people that were spreading the virus. That's what they said, I guess. But I don't know. I mean,
But they're
like I said,
still
I'm gonna wear
exposed
mine.
to it.
Yeah, they're definitely been exposed for sure.
So it seems like protecting teachers should be at the top of that priority list because if people under a certain age can't even get vaccinated, then none of those people are fully vaccinated, none of those children, so they should be required to wear masks. School should be the number one place required to wear masks. To
Yeah,
me,
especially since
logically.
like how many of us know teachers? I live with one, right? Well, she's a
Right.
guidance counselor, but she's been a teacher throughout the years. She's held all kind of positions in
Mm,
education.
I
How
know
many
lots.
how many how many teachers when school starts, after a few weeks, they all get sick. They all come down with some type of crud. And talking about all from these nasty kids. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So I mean, for real,
Yeah.
it's
I
serious.
never even thought about that. I mean, yeah, because I don't have any teachers in my family like that. But I mean, I didn't know that's a thing. But I guess you're right. I'm
It
sure you're
is.
right.
Yeah.
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 Not even that, but just when you take your kid from being like if you have your kid home all the time and then you take them to school to kindergarten, they get sick. They're instantly exposed to germs and stuff from other kids that they've never been exposed to. That's the first thing that happens when your kid goes to kindergarten. They
And
catch
even
some
as a
new cold.
parent, and even
Yeah.
as a parent, your kid will bring that stuff back to you
Yep.
for sure. Yeah. So
And
they
then
definitely need to be wearing
if
masks.
all these parents are out turning up without masks and people are pretending to have the vaccine or not, like so I still wear my mask. We know I didn't get the vaccine. I still wear my mask everywhere I go. So but for people who are pretending and like apparently getting these fake vaccination cards and stuff, I'm just like, y'all really doing a lot. I
Right.
mean, and it's disrespectful to people who are trying to be um just protective of their health. Like, are you that against other people protecting themselves that you want to lie to them and put them at risk? Like
You're just
I
selfish.
I'm like
Yeah.
Just
No.
openly
selfish.
like, hey, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's
I'm gonna
the
wear my mask, you wear yours, we'll all be okay.
Yeah.
that's the whole. There's a whole section of the population, a whole segment of our society that their personal rights trump anything having to do with your well-being.
Hmm.
And so that's where we are in society. It's not just, I mean, we should have saw that before the COVID-19. We knew that, people were more concerned about, I just have the ability to do what I want to do. I don't care
Hmm.
about you. And so
Yeah, because you remember when it first started, and we had to stay home, and the white folks talking about this is slavery. No,
right.
Be at home making margaritas, watching Netflix.
Right.
That is not slavery.
Right.
Yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
I've never wanted to be put on punishment so bad in my life.
Yeah,
you mean stay at home and do virtual happy hours all day? Okay.
But you know, here's the thing though. Maybe the rationale is this, because I think the people who are most vulnerable, like our elderly, probably all of them have been vaccinated, because I went home and visited family and my uncle who's in his 80s, him and his wife, they're in their 80s, they both have been vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, before then they weren't taking visitors. They weren't seeing their grandkids or their kids. And I know a lot of people who have parents that are in their 70s, 80s, 60s, or whatever, who are more vulnerable. You know, they got vaccinated and they was like, oh, I can go see my mom now. I can go give her a hug. So maybe because of those individuals who are more vulnerable, who have more of a impact on the hospital system being protected, makes it better. Because like if you're younger, you know what I mean, like in your 20s, 30s, there still might be those off cases where you might have a severe case, but for the most part you might be able to just stay at home for 2 weeks like I did, you know, and it'll be rough, but you can shake it off and not tax the hospital system. Maybe that's what they're thinking. And if I look at it that way, that's the only way it kind of makes sense.
I was thinking too, maybe they were thinking that carrot would be an incentive for people to go get vaccinated. Like people like, okay, if I go get this vaccination, then I can walk around mask free, not knowing that half the people was like, whoo.
Don't be like, whoo, psych.
I mean, once businesses started saying you don't have to show, or you don't have to prove that you're vaccinated, we're just going to trust
do that.
Then I
what
mean, yeah,
minimum wage employee wants to be put in that position?
Exactly.
And then, like I said, I went to Total Wine the other day and they were like, if you've been vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. I was like, there's no one at the door to ask me if I've been vaccinated. Like, we both wore our mask the entire time, but like, who's going to police that? Who's going to be like, hey, where's your little card? Where's your, get out of jail free card? Just to make sure. No one's going to do that. So by them saying that, they just put businesses in this vulnerable position where you want to get the business of the people who are anti-wearing masks or tired of wearing masks, but now you don't have anyone to police that. So I think they jumped the gun. And then even Dr. Fauci said that he just put something out that says that people are misinterpreting the guidelines. I'm like, no, they're not misinterpreting it. You opened the door and they kicked it on you cracked it and they kicked it open. They're like, oh, everybody's fine. Let's go back to business as usual.
You know, I gotta give Joe Biden a little bit of props. The rollout of the vaccine when he took over, I gotta say it was pretty efficient. You know, I mean, once it started, you know, the vaccine started getting to places, and then, you know, at first it was kind of like people were rushing and trying to jump the line to get vaccinated, but considering when did the vaccine become available? Like late January, February or something like that.
In December, I know someone in December. They work at a hospital though, so.
Oh yeah, hospitals and stuff.
Yeah, but like to the public, you know, to most of us, I think it was like late January, February when it started, and it was still kind of scarce. But mid-March or whatever, that thing was rolling, and you know, now we're to the point you can hit that CVS, you can do whatever, and you can get your vaccination. And we're to a point where they've said that, okay, we got enough vaccinations, we got enough vaccines to cover everybody that wants one. Now it's to the point where, okay, what are we going to do with that strategic storage? Can we send them here for people to get? Because they know India's off the chain. And from my understanding, that's where you start. Remember, we kept talking about those variants and stuff. So it's like, listen, we can't just let them flounder. We got to try to help them get it under control. Because if they come over here, then it's going to be more problems for us. So
unless you want to be total isolation, you got to make sure the whole world gets access to it.
Right. And, you know, you definitely want to open up for trade. So then a lot of this is just governed by business. You know, it's economics. And you knew that because, you know, I remember when this thing first popped off, some idiot from Texas, some politician was like, our older population will have to sacrifice. They're going to have to sacrifice to, you know, because we got to keep the economy going. You know,
they lived a good life. You
right.
know?
I mean, he said that for real. He said it for real. He was like,
sorry, Pop.
Yeah, we didn't did 30 days quarantine, nah, we ain't doing no more. You know, and you know,
That's enough.
but you know, they kind of look at. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. I was gonna say they look at their elderly family members different. Well, they do. They you know they kind of look at it differently. You know,
They do.
they'll rush to put them in a nursing facility. You know,
Yeah.
that's really kind of
Mhm.
last straw for us, even though probably
Yeah.
it should be something that we consider because finances, you know, we can't afford it.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
they ain't gonna stay with
Mhm.
us. She gonna be in the guest room, and we're gonna take turns taking care of her or whatever. So we more sentimental about our ancestors and our elderly than they are, and that to me, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
That's just an opinion that I would really bet the bank on.
I'd,
Yeah, I
I'd,
agree.
I'd second that.
Yeah. Third.
And the other thing, when they when they mom and daddy died, they bury them quick too. You ever notice that?
Got to. They got to.
They got to. You know why? You know why they bury them quick, Arika?
No.
Because they turn black.
Yeah. No melanin. They skin start
They turn black
deteriorating.
quick. Like
Really?
oh, they turn black. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
That's
For,
crazy. I
for
just
real.
lost a friend in the past month, and they're um they're Caribbean. And I think their heritage religious beliefs they've got to be buried within 3 days. Oh, they don't do the embalming and all the stuff that we do over here, so they require, in order for you to have a service without the horrible smells and everything of a decomposing human, they have to bury them within 3 days.
Well, sorry for your loss. You know, definitely want to say that, but yeah, they ain't trying to have Nana in that casket looking black as a last
Mm-mm.
ritual. So
You
you know,
know,
you know, how black people be like, "Hey, we waiting for the cousins in Georgia and the cousins in Ohio to get here, so we're gonna hold the
Yeah.
body for a week."
no,
No,
I
y'all,
was
A
no,
listen.
week.
y'all come when y'all come when y'all can get here, but she's going in the ground
But
quick.
No, everybody just started coming into town after my daddy passed. I was like, can we get our funds up? Can we give y'all a day and time?
Yeah,
Like, y'all just kind of forced us to do it like right away. I'm like, sure,
right.
empty out my savings. I'm like, yeah, normally you be thinking black people be waiting a long time. My
2
daddy was like,
weeks.
oh
Yeah.
no, a week. A week. That's all they gave us. I was like, I thought black people had more time than this. Like, this seems unnatural.
when
I
my,
was
when
like, oh,
my
everything's moving so fast.
when my daddy passed, I think we waited 7 days, and that was because we wanted to honor a few of his wishes, and then,
Right.
like having the
Mhm.
honor guard there, so we had to wait for them to be available.
Hmm.
But it was either 5 or 7 days we held the body, which that's a long time. That's a long time for you to because you never have like true closure, but you want to close
Right.
that chapter and to sit there in that state of just we know his body is there and this that and the other. It's a lot, but white folks they ain't playing that. They gonna quit. They gonna quit real quick, fast in a hurry.
But to circle back, they gonna do that shit quick.
Yeah. So
Like, they on a different mission than the rest of us.
yeah, for sure. And they got the money too. Unfortunately, a lot of us, that don't have the life
Right.
insurance.
Exactly.
We
You got to get them. You got to reach out to everybody you can. You're right.
you gotta have
That's a big part of it too.
you
Yeah.
gotta have the fish fry.
Mhm.
You gotta have the fish fry to raise money, and all that.
Man.
That's why I'm glad my mom, she's like, look, listen, I don't want y'all like the mother folks in our family. I got my policy. Y'all do what's right, and I'm saying this to encourage folks to get a policy.
Mhm.
Start paying on it because she said I do not want y'all out here begging and buying and selling fish dinners to try to bury me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, the same, because like a couple weeks before my daddy passed, I had a real bad feeling and I doubled my life insurance. And I
Yeah.
was just like, I just feel like this ain't enough. I was like, let me get this together. And I just feel like, I just wish that everybody who has kids would have life insurance to make sure that they didn't put that added pressure on their
Right.
children.
Right.
Because
Mhm.
I'm like, you're trying to mourn and plan something you never wanted to plan. And now you also trying to fundraise like you a Girl Scout.
Right. Because finances is in everything is the number one reason for stress in most people's lives. So you compound that with the death of a parent or
Yeah.
spouse or something like that. I can't
Too
imagine.
much. It's too
I can't
much.
imagine.
You know, I think my grandmother, my dad's mother, she did it best. She prepaid for her funeral. She got a little lump sum of money because she knew that, you know, I don't think anyone watched the show, but she knew that my uncle that was still living, she didn't want to put it in his hands to try to do it right. So she was just like, she's like, I know you're gonna mess it up. So we took her to the funeral home, paid for what she wanted. She selected what she wanted. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I think she maybe had like a little payment plan, or she took like a little lump sum or whatever. And I think that's the way to do it. That's the
Yeah.
way to do it. Yeah. I mean, I gave specific instructions. You know, cremate me. You know, I want to be cremated. Have a picture of me being happy because I don't want y'all looking at me because you know sometimes when you pass, they sometimes they do a good job with the body, sometimes they don't. You know, and plus I'm big too. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all trying to fit me in no casket and all that stuff. Just go ahead, cremate your boy. Have a nice picture of me looking happy, so that be y'all last memory of me, and y'all have a good time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have a good time. That's exactly what I want. I think that's really the best way to go.
Yeah.
So, I went to
Listen, but I don't plan on checking out no time soon, though. God,
no
please.
time soon.
Okay,
But you know, as attorneys, we have to do continued legal education. So I'm last minute in life on everything. So I had to squeeze in my continued legal education one year, and I went to this elder law all day program, and they had a bunch of stuff on wills and estates and trusts and stuff like that. And they had this book, and it's called I'm Dead, Now What? And I bought this book for myself, my mom, and my auntie because it asked so many questions that I never even thought about. So, like, if I pass right now, my husband cannot pay our electric bill. He don't know the passcodes. He don't know the passcodes to to the mortgage, and so all of that is in there. Our life insurance policy, where's the will, who's our attorney, what do I want to happen to my dog? Like literally every question that you can possibly answer is in this book. So when I pass, my family can pull out this book and be like, hey, this lady wants to be a tree. Cremate her, put her ashes in a tree and grow her somewhere. And that's it. So, but this, I recommend the book just because my mom kept telling me stuff. And I was like, Mom, I don't have photographic memory. I'm not going to remember this. She's like, I just want someone to know where it is, but I don't know. You're telling me this randomly, 3 glasses of wine in. What are we doing? I was like, I don't know.
Hey,
And then so finally,
I tell you what though, for the brothers who are listening, buy the book because it sounds like a real good thing. Buy the book, fill it out, and then give it to your homeboy.
I knew you was going to say that.
Don't leave that joker around with your passwords and stuff. So she gonna find that, and you're gonna be dead, all right.
Yeah, very quickly. Very quickly.
Hide it from your wives. Get a PO box
Something,
at
right,
the bank.
right.
Yeah,
Put it in the PO box at the bank.
You got to join to your boy or somebody because she gonna
Leave it with your attorney, with your will.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's
Get that book. What's the name of that book again?
It's called I'm Dead, Now What?
Ooh, boy, I'm going to go ahead and get that job. So,
Yeah.
But anyway, man, I think we talked about it enough. Everybody, thank you for listening to the show. Make sure you follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Man Listen Show. Make sure you subscribe to the show on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Share the show, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. We're getting our subscribers up there, man. We need to be about 500. Like we just right under 200. We could get to 500. We get to 500. That's a solid following, and we can make a difference with this show. And also, if you want to donate, $ Man Listen Show. Get our Cash App. Make that Cash App so we can keep investing in the show, bring you good quality content. And with that being said, we'll holler you next time. Peace.
Peace.
See, what up?
Mask up.